1907, Anderson, who was now also a director, formed the S&A Film Company with George Spohr, a wealthy Chicago film distributor. 5 years later, S&A was in the Niles district of Fremont, California, making cowboy movies. It became mythical. Bronco Billy Anderson struck movie gold, and the hills and canyons of Niles established forever the film genre known as the Western. Located 35 miles east of San Francisco, Niles was a farming and railroad community of 1,400 people. It became a movie town very quickly.
A lot of the girls were, of course, entranced by all of these actors and colorful characters that were there, and a number of them got married to them. None of the marriages lasted very long, but anyway, there was quite a bonding between the actors and the local ladies.
When the workday ended, many of the actors, who were also real cowboys, headed for one of the town's 8 saloons.
And in their pistols were not blanks, they were live ammunition. And they'd get through with their acting stint for the day, and they'd go and have a few drinks in the bar. Then they'd jump on their horses and ride all through town shooting up the place. They said there was hardly a building in town that didn't have a bunch of holes in it.
But Anderson was not much of a real cowboy. A less than average horseman, he possessed little skill with a pistol and rope, relying on stuntmen.
Anderson didn't know anything about the West before he started making Westerns, but he's smart enough to know that if he hired cowboys who knew the West and knew how to do the stunts, that he could use that knowledge in his films and make them authentic.
The Bronco Billy films became a box office success all over the world. S&A made millions, and Anderson was a big-time movie star.
He was an enormously productive filmmaker. He turned out a film a week, almost 500 films, when he was working for S&A. And the film a week doesn't begin to suggest it, because he would much rather have spent his time womanizing at the St. Francis Hotel. So he would go down and turn out, 2 films in 1 week, so that he could then take a week off and enjoy life in the city.
Attracted to the pleasures of San Francisco, the married Anderson had a reputation as a big spender, charming, complicated, often moody.
He was as big a dictator as you can imagine any studio head in Hollywood. You didn't argue with the man, and if you did argue with him, he just pointed his finger at you and said, "You're fired."
But Westerns weren't the only movies being made at S&A. In 1914, Bronco Billy hired a young comic genius named Charlie Chaplin for $1,250 a week. Chaplin's first film for S&A, his new job. He would soon become the movie industry's biggest star.
Chaplin, of course, had his own string of babes, including Edna Purviance.
Edna Purviance was a country girl from Nevada who came to San Francisco after high school graduation. When Chaplin was searching for a new leading lady, friends arranged a meeting with the blonde 18-year-old office worker.
He was introduced to Edna Purviance at the St. Francis Hotel and was immediately struck by her eyes. He thought she was beautiful.
Chaplin was captivated. Edna Purviance made her movie debut with the comedian in A Night Out.
And they had a lot of fun together. And they had an intimate relationship off camera as well as on.
When the couple made the tramp, Purviance played the role of the farmer's daughter who is rescued by Chaplin. Hopeful and in love, Chaplin loses the girl in the end.
Before Edna Purviance, Charlie Chaplin was a great clown. He had an amazing skill with inanimate objects to make them come alive. But once Edna came on the screen and functioned as his foil, he showed this very tender side, and he was very romantic.
Filmed entirely in Niles Canyon, The Tramp witnessed the evolution of Chaplin's on-screen character, moving from slapstick to pathos. The Tramp was Chaplin's signature movie.
And if one had to characterize all of his work, it would be that his character becomes an everyman who never loses hope, although he very seldom gains success.
As for his relationship with Bronco Billy, Chaplin thought the cowboy star had a special charm and liked him. Both played bit parts in each other's movies. But when the 26-year-old comedian was offered $10,000 a week by Mutual Studios, George Spohr declined to match it. Losing Chaplin was the beginning of the end for S&A. The industry was changing, moving away from one-reelers into features, which were longer and more costly. Spohr wasn't interested. He had also run out of patience with his reckless business partner, Bronco Billy. In the spring of 1916, Spohr shut down the S&A studios. Anderson was no longer king of the cowboys.
He set the foundation for the Western cowboy, from William S. Hart to Clint Eastwood.
And he started what was to become the conventions of the Western genre, that good won over evil.
He created the West. He created an image that he thought the public wanted to see, and it kind of fed upon itself and created a Western mythology that lives to this day. That was his legacy.